like the style of it. It's a really nice like grindhouse, like gritty 70s ish, like throwback to like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and some exploitation movies.
That's what I was just about to say. Thank you. But yeah, it's like he said. I don't even really have to speak right now because he's saying everything I would say. But yeah, definitely, I got into it a bit older, a bit later on in life, and he's actually letting me borrow both of them, and they are wonderful films. I highly recommend them. That says a lot because it takes a lot to make me really, yeah, I would recommend this. So, if I'm recommending it, that must say something. If he likes it and he's a big movie buff, that says something on his behalf as well.
True.
So, it's like, yeah, the only thing I would say, I would throw this out, is the nudity.
Yeah, it's excessive.
Be careful with who you watch this with.
Yeah.
It's not a family flick. You
and on
sit
account
down
of the content too.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie, he really goes there. He that's the thing with these movies. The vibe of the first, I like again, it's like chilling enough, and it feels very much like the very first Texas Chainsaw film. And with the sequel, it definitely gets I would say 10 times darker and more disturbing. And this is only watch these movies if you know of Rob Zombie, if you're a fan of him, or if you like horror movies.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, even as a movie fan, I wouldn't. If a regular movie fan, I wouldn't say watch this. Just again on account of if you don't really do like those hardcore shock value disturbing type films.
If you're not looking for graphic, over the top sort of kills with an older feel vibe, stay away from this film. If you want that, this is your film.
Yeah, and like we just said, the vibe between the movies, they're both kind of like the first movie. It's really wacky and out there, like how Rob went about making the first two movies. It reminds me of how Sam went about making Evil Dead 1 and 2. Just you have one that's wacky but still scary enough, and then you have another where it's more serious in tone and more gritty and makes you slightly more shocked. But yeah, I think. Again, these are good, two first solid entries for Rob Zombie's filmography. He obviously, his directing game was stepped up, 5 more times for by the time he did his second film. And, between the two movies, it's hard for me to say which one I like a little more. I always, preferred the first just because it's a little more straightforward, whereas the second, it's more, drawn out and almost, and even Rob himself said it's, Western inspired, but... the endings of both movies, they're definitely ones that have people talking and they can be divided in how they make people feel.
And this is where I'm going to go. We're going to speak our own language. The ending to the second one is... And because of that, it's really sad. And I'm not saying anything actual you can understand for the simple fact I'm not trying to spoil anything for those who haven't seen it. I think he gets what I'm saying when and
stuff happens
but that's a good way. I think it could have been a cliffhanger where you could have came back with it, unless because
and
they're not John Cena, they can't come back after death.
And
not in his films. But.
And to wrap these up, I would give the first movie. Honestly, I'd say about 4 out of 5 stars, and the second one, just on account of the filmmaking and the script, I would have to give credit where credit's due and give that 5 out of 5 stars, just for Rob Zombie movie most of all, and it's not just straight up horror. It's almost like a cat and mouse thriller, like a road trip cat and mouse thriller.
Me, I would give the first one 5 out of 5 stars, and the second one 5 out of 5 stars.